You know your campaign is not going well when you have to post this, which Donald Trump did yesterday. JD Vance isn't weird. And Roger Stone, who is very weird, wrote an article on his Substack saying JD Vance isn't weird. And then Donald Trump reposted that. JL Partners did a word cloud of what people think about JD Vance. And here's what people think: weird, idiot, unsure, bad, loser, and unknown, also ignorant. Speaking of ignorant, Donald Trump continued to post after post, and as Drudge Report put it on their headline, "Rattled Trump only wants safe Fox debate." It's the headline on Drudge. You will recall that Donald Trump canceled unilaterally all of the remaining debates. Frankly, there was just one on ABC that Donald Trump had previously agreed to. Donald Trump had said anywhere, anytime, any place. But as Vice President Kamala Harris said, got it. So what you really mean with anytime, any place is one specific time, one specific safe place. And Vice President Kamala Harris, as you know from our prior report, said, look, I'm going to show up to ABC where you agreed to do the debate, and I'm going to be there on September 10th. So I hope to see you there, but if you're not there, I'm going to be there. Donald Trump, if you want, and this was a great meme that Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign put out, if you want to bring your blankie and go to Fox, you can do that, but that's not anytime, any place, is what you previously said. Let me just show you some of the weird emails as Donald Trump and JD Vance are unraveling that they're sending to their cult followers. And I think it's important that you see this because you don't see this really being reported anywhere else. And I just want to show you the messaging that goes to the cult. This is from JD Vance. He writes, "President Trump and I love you, Ben, and I would love to have your endorsement." And here's what they say that an endorsement would bring. Here is what they stand for with 95 days out. It's frankly nothing. I won't bury the lead. 1, demolish the deep state. 2, expose the dangerous liberal agenda. And 3, make America great again, greater than ever before. Well, it's interesting because when Donald Trump gave that disastrous speech in Atlanta, Georgia yesterday, he seemed to be spending a lot of time focused on making Russia great. First, he praises Vladimir Putin and congratulates Vladimir Putin on the prison swap. I just want you to think about, and I don't want to use hyperbolic language, I just think the word that meets the moment of Trump's behavior here is traitor. If you have another word, share it with me in the comments. But here's Donald Trump, the leader of the Republican Party, praising the leader of our enemy, Russia, in a campaign rally, or as I like to call it, a WWE cosplay traveling fascist circus event. But here's Donald Trump. Play the clip.
It's terrible. You know, by the way, I'd like to congratulate Vladimir Putin for having made yet another great deal. Did you see the deal we made?
So then Donald Trump includes into that speech racism, racism, racism. That's what you see over and over again in it. Donald Trump, in his speech, says, Vice President Kamala Harris, or whatever her name is, she has 19 names. You can call her whatever. That's what Donald Trump says. Here, play the clip.
And we're going to defeat crazy Kamala. You know, there's about 19 different ways of saying it. She only likes 3. Biden never even came close. Hamala. No, it's Kamala.
Then Donald Trump's line of attack against Vice President Kamala Harris is he says that she is a low IQ individual. He then praises President Xi of China. Play this clip.
She's worse than Bernie. And she happens to be really a low IQ individual. She really does. She has a very low IQ. We don't need a low IQ. President Xi of China said, oh, good, we have another one, a low IQ individual. They love dealing with low IQ. They love dealing with low IQ people, and they got them here. I'll tell you, we got them all. She is terrible. She's worse than he. I think she's worse than him. By the way, they really...
Then Donald Trump proceeds to talk about Hannibal Lecter, who he says the late, great Dr. Hannibal Lecter. Calls him a doctor and says late, great, his friend, he says. Here, play this clip.
Insane asylums. They hate when I use Dr. Hannibal Lecter as the late, great Hannibal Lecter. Oh, they go, look at all the media back there. Look at all the fake news.
Donald Trump continued to make post after post as well on social media. Each one was more unhinged than the next. He was posting attacks on the Republican governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, as well as the Republican Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger. I'll just show you the post. I mean, you could go on. And by the way, he attacks their wives, and he attacks their children, and he attacks their family. So Trump spending the day giving that unhinged, deranged speech in Atlanta, Georgia, and making posts attacking Republican leaders in Georgia's family, their wives and their kids, in the most amateurish, third grade wannabe bully type posts. Just, again, the behavior, I don't know how else to describe it other than what one would expect of, and I don't even think you'd expect it. No offense to third graders who are petulant bullies, but petulant third grade bullies. Donald Trump then basically says no more debates. He's essentially ruled out all debates, unless it happens on his safe space, Fox. Trump goes, Vice President Kamala Harris, he doesn't say that, he says Kamala Harris doesn't have the mental capacity to do a real debate against me, scheduled for September 4th in Pennsylvania. She's afraid to do it because there's no way she can justify her corrupt and open borders. Can we pause there just for a second? First and foremost, there was no debate September 4th. I know you have imaginary friends, Donald Trump, like the late, great Dr. Hannibal Lecter, but just because you in your own mind, I guess the same way you say in your own sociopathic, malignant, narcissistic mind that you can just declassify all of our classified information and sensitive compartmented information. So you've created your own debate, which doesn't exist, after saying anywhere, anytime, any place, and agreeing to a debate on ABC. You're now saying Vice President Kamala Harris isn't agreeing to do some imaginary debate that you made up. I think it just shows what a coward it is. He then goes on to whine. He says that she's removing the words Merry Christmas because for these MAGA Republicans, it's all a culture war. It's all distract while Donald Trump picks your pocket and screws you over like he's done to workers his entire career as he's bankrupted each and every entity he's touched. Essentially, then Donald Trump goes on to say, I'll see her on September 4th, or I won't see her at all. That's what I say. He's essentially ruled out all debates. He then makes another post where he attacks Joe Biden over and over again, talks about Joe Biden. He then more posts, he goes, she's really dumb, and he puts that in capital letters about Vice President Kamala Harris. Again, this language, this, again, petulant third grade bully, but it's almost worse. Trump's a wannabe petulant third grade bully. By the way, throughout the venue where Donald Trump spoke at yesterday, he was continuing to say things like Vice President Kamala Harris isn't really black and that she's making up that she's black. So that's one of the big messages that they are focused on right now. Remember, the media said that Trump and MAGA, they're going to pivot. They're pivoting right now. What's the pivot? That they've turned their entire campaign to focus on saying that Vice President Kamala Harris isn't really black and she just turned black is what they're saying. What the hell does that even mean? Number one. And number two, how racist can you get? And just how ignorant can you possibly be? Trump level ignorant. She has a Jamaican black father and she has an Indian mother. She's biracial. It's not a complicated concept. The fact that you're making your whole campaign about race It's the most pathetic thing. Talk about policies. Oh, wait, you don't have any. You just are praising Vladimir Putin and talking about freaking Hannibal Lecter all the time. Donald Trump posts this. Great job by Michaela Montgomery. What a speech. A special person with a fantastic future. This is the individual who's the MAGA operative who goes around to the Chick-fil-A and the various events so Donald Trump can do these PR stunts and say, look, Donald Trump has black support because someone who works for Charlie Kirk, who literally held an event where they had signs that said white boy summer, gives Donald Trump a hug. So she follows him from event to event. And here's what she said at the Atlanta, Georgia event, which is just so utterly pathetic. Here, play this clip.
A few days ago, President Trump said he didn't know Vice President Harris was a black woman. I'm trying to figure out what all the outrage is about because she's only black when it's time to get elected. Did I lie? The same black people who are mad at Trump for being confused about her race, ethnicity, nationality, whatever, are seemingly forgetting that while you're touting her as a savior for black people, she identifies as an Asian woman. She chose her side and it wasn't ours.
Meanwhile, is there any more clear polling out there to show how detested JD Vance is? The recent JL Partner shows that JD Vance has a net negative 24% favorability. Only 26% of people view him positively. So I will leave you with that, folks. We will keep on reporting on this each and every day at the MeidasTouch Network. We're on our way to 3 million subscribers. So please, if you can, hit subscribe and help us hit that milestone. Thank you so much.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.